This is part two of me reading through my collection of 80 Penguin Little Black Classics. So far, I've read three, so let's see how many of them we can get through in this video. Each of the books are numbered, and I have the numbers 1 through 80 in this TBR jar to help me pick out the next one, and it is number 68. Ooh, this is a Brothers Grimm story. It is called The Robber Bridegroom. This is again a collection of short stories. These ones are drawn from German folklore, dark fantastical fairy tales of wicked deeds, gruesome punishment, and just rewards. I'm really excited about this. I finished the book and I really enjoyed it. This has a collection of like maybe 6 or 7 short stories written by the Brothers Grimm, and I totally psyched myself up to have like depressing endings on all of them because I know Brothers Grimm's fairy tale tend to run a little bit darker. Surprisingly, these read like fairy tale stories that had happily ever after endings. Some of the themes are a little bit darker, but I still really enjoyed it. Time to pick out the next read. It is going to be number 5. This is a pretty short number this month, and it is actually Friedrich Nietzsche, which is a philosopher, I believe. The book is called Aphorisms on Love and Hate and is described as the iconoclastic German philosopher's blazing maxims on revenge, false pity, and the drawbacks of marriage. This dude sounds like a real hoot. Well, I finished this book and it was just as positive and uplifting as I thought it was going to be, which is to say none at all. I mean, this guy's a philosopher and they tend to have a pretty doomist outlook on the world and on humanity. You can definitely see that in his ramblings here. I did think that he had a lot of deep and thoughtful points in this book, but I don't really agree with his overall doomist mentality. And even some of like the positive emotions that he talks about, he has a tendency to like twist them around and make him sound selfish and dirty. But I did agree with some of his points and some of his thoughts on different things. I just feel like it's a very sad way to live, to look at everything so negatively. So yeah, it was an interesting book. I would recommend it if you're interested in philosophy. Time for our next pick. We are going to be reading number 58. That's interesting. We got Leonardo da Vinci this time. It is called Giorgio Vasari. It is described as the first art historian explores genius and madness in Leonardo and other celebrated Renaissance artists. That sounds really interesting. I'm really excited to read this. I'm so dumb. This is the author, this is the subject. So the book is about Leonardo da Vinci's life. And not only that, this book also talks about the lives of 2 other artists, kind of from the same period. The other 2 artists were Fra Filippo Lippi and his pupil Sandro Botticelli, which have smaller parts in the book. It's mostly about Leonardo da Vinci, but I thought it was interesting that he also chose to include those other 2 artists. But yeah, this was very interesting. I feel like I've seen a lot of Leonardo da Vinci's art, but I've never really learned much about his history, so I thought that was really interesting to learn about. And because the book is so small, it is a very small bite-sized picture of his life, which made it really easy to read. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it. That's 3 more books down and 74 left to go.